let's take off these two caps for the wipers, and we're going to have to remove the wiper arms and then the cowl so that we can get more access down underneath. 14mm socket, remove the two nuts. And either mark or remember where the wipers go. Pull the wiper arms up. There we go. Set those aside. Next, there should be some clips that hold this cowl in place. I'm missing all of mine, so there's nothing for me to remove, but take out any clips that are holding yours in place. And then these corner pieces should pop off if you just lift them at the right angle. There we go. Okay, there we go. If you flip it over, there's a washer hose that comes along here. You can simply disconnect this washer hose and set this aside. Now we have to remove the wiper transmission. I'm going to start by unplugging the wiper motor. Then there are several 10mm bolts, one over here, one over here, and there's supposed to be one over here. Looks like that one's missing. And one over here. So 4 in total. Remove the wiper transmission, set that aside. And now we have to remove this piece here. So I'll just take out all the 10mm bolts that are holding this on, including this bracket over here. I'm just going to loosen this up, spin the bracket sideways. Alright, take this out of the way. At this point, we have a much better view back here. So, get the push down on the connector locking tab, unplug the ignition coil. You can't see it, but right here, there's a 10mm bolt that locks the ignition coil in. Let's go ahead and remove that. Oh. There it is. Pull the ignition coil up. Take your spark plug socket, drop it down in there. Make sure it hooks onto the spark plug, and let's break this free. There it is. Now get your new spark plug, snap it into your spark plug socket. This is important. You don't want to let it just drop down into the cylinder. That's going to damage the spark plug. Gently guide it down with your socket and extension and thread it on by hand. You do not want these to cross thread. You'll have a very bad day if they do. Bottom it out as far as you can, and then we'll go ahead and torque it to 13 foot-pounds. It's bottomed out. Just going to double check it with the ratchet. Yep. All right, let's get the torque wrench. 13 foot-pounds. You basically just want to crush that gasket that's at the top of the threads. All right, there we go. It's important that you make these properly tight because this engine is known for blowing out spark plugs. Grab your ignition coil. I like to put silicone paste on the bottom of it. This will do two things. One, it'll prevent water from building up in there, and two, it'll prevent the rubber from sticking onto the spark plug. Drop it down into the cylinder. Make sure it's bottomed out all the way. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it while I'm at it. There we go. And put the mounting bolts back in. There we go, nice and snug. Don't go crazy on this one. Now we can take this piece that goes underneath the cowl and line it up with where it needs to go. I put this bolt back in to make sure I know where it goes. So I'm going to put that in and then just line up and start in by hand all the bolts that hold this piece on, and we'll go ahead and snug them up. I'm going to work my way from one side to the other. Let's put the wiper transmission back into place. Line it up with the mounting holes. Let's put all the mounting bolts back. Snug it up. And don't forget to plug it in. Before you put the cowl on, reconnect your washer fluid hose. Make sure it's routed through this little cutout here, otherwise your wiper squirters won't work. And slide the cowl back in. Put in the little corner pieces. They kind of just snap in here. And if you had any push clips holding the cowl down, go ahead and put those on. Let's do the same to the other side. Put the wiper arms back. I'm going to start with this one on the passenger side and just line up the marks that the wipers have left, unless your windshield is perfectly clean. In that case, you should have marked it, like I said earlier. But I have witness marks from the old wiper blades, so I'm just going to line those up and then put the 2 nuts on. And once your wipers are positioned exactly where you want them, it's important to get them right, otherwise they will either contact the cowl or the side of the windshield. Go ahead and snug these up. And don't forget to put on the little caps to hide the nuts.